aquatic journey up through. Walk up about 6,000 foot level, you start to feel the ocean. You actually walk across the reef, which again, I had a sensation of snorkeling in Hawaii. Forgot the area, but you snorkel across and you know how you look down at the reef below and all the coral below that you're not supposed to step on. And that's the feeling. It was so bizarre. Look at that, you can tell this looks like coral. It doesn't look like granite or anything. Whoa. There's the valley there where the grotto is. Well, this is actually kind of cool. The Permian Reef is right up top there. You can see it on the right there. The sun is hitting it. There it is, the Permian Reef up at the top there on the right. Permian Reef. Here I come. Here we come. Here we are back at McKittrick Canyon Station, getting ready to run up Permian Hill up there. Okay, here we are again, McKittrick Canyon. Second day, second time here. Last hike. We're heading up there to Permian Reef. The trail goes to the left out to the grotto, but we go right here. And we're gonna hit there is a 40% chance of rain. So I do have my rain coat with me. Hips are a little bit weird, but I think I'll be okay. Kind of turn. All right, here we go. Straight up to the top there. Hopefully we'll see some good fossils today, which is expected. Nothing like walking through a cactus farm here. All right, again, lots of cactus. Looks like we're gonna kind of squeeze through here. Neat spot though, huh? Okay, hello world, hello future self. Again, we are on another adventurous hike, this time an aquatic journey. We are heading to the Guadalupe Mountains National Park, which is on the western side of Texas. As you can see, we zoomed from the other side of the earth over to Texas and New Mexico border. Here are the numbers for this. Elevation gain numbers, 25, 29, as you can see right here. Trying not to make too many things move. This is the steady incline of our hike today. Again, it's to Permian Reef Trail, which we are going to go through the Permian Reef area of the Guadalupe Mountains. And as we zoom closer, you can start to see the mountain range come into play here. Geographical notices, we have Guadalupe Peak here and El Capitan here. The reef does extend all into this area here, but today's hike is specifically the Permian Reef Trail. Visitor center at the bottom, McKittrick Canyon. We were there on our last hike, as you can see here. Let's go ahead and start the tour. It is a steady climb all the way up, as you can see the terrain lines, and it kind of has a few switchbacks up here. Up around the 6,000 foot level here is where you start to see a lot of the fossils. There's several along this area here where I'm pointing. This is probably about 5. Does it show the elevation here? Let me see where I'm at. Maybe, let's see here, if I do it this way.
The arrow is not following. I guess I'm not close enough. But as you can see here, you'll start to see a lot of the reef marine life and aquatic life. And then we walk across the top of the plateau area, which is the top of the reef. This is where we start to bring out the snorkeling gear, and we start to visualize that. All right, let's go ahead and start the tour. And I will try to follow along here on the bottom, the arrow here. The arrow is not showing for some reason. Let me see. Okay, well, here we are making our way through the from the visitor center up. And again, as the scale shows on the bottom here, it is a steady climb all the way up as we work our way to the top. It's about well, here it looks like 3.75 is what I have here, but it's about 4 miles up. Apparently I didn't go all the way up to the distance, or maybe my calculations where I ended off are off a bit, but it was about an 8-mile day. And as you can see here, we're still climbing, and working our way up to the top. I'm gonna have to figure out this arrow here, and right about this area here, as it's coming from left to right here, is the reef starts right about here. We crest the reef area, and we start to do a few switchbacks up and around. Again, this is the whole reef, Permian Reef. I guess you can start seeing a lot of organisms. I forgot the name of them. I have it in the narration, in the analysis, in the research portion of the video. And again, we come across, we're basically bisecting the reef till we get to the top, and then here at the top we start to walk across the top of the reef, or I would say snorkel across the top, float, because that's what I felt like I was going through. It is a good hike, good day hike. There were some chance of rain when I was there, but here's where we ended up. At least this is where I think I ended up. I got a feeling I was farther over here, but yeah, because I feel like I may have walked right across this here. I remember going straight for some time, and then I decided to quit. So I might have been right about here. In any case, that's where we ended up. Okay, so let's go back, and I'll give you this is I'll flip it around here. Hold on tight. We're going to start looking south, and then I will come back a little bit so you can see that where we were at is we could see the canyon here. Here's Pratt. This here is McKittrick Canyon all along here, and from the top view we look across. Okay, this is the end of the terrain brief. We're skirting this sediment layer here, but if we pan across the valley here, McKittrick Canyon, sorry, you can see the other side of the I guess layer. Okay, here we are, 1 minute. Permian Reef is up there. You can see the trail as it angles up to 45 degrees up from the right to the left. Panning around, you see McKittrick Canyon here. The other day's trail was down there next to the wash, the river. I think they call it a creek. There, McKittrick Canyon. Okay, finally a little life. Well, past life. I'll go very slow. Ooh, it's been a steep hike up along the left side ridge here, or yeah, left side of this slope. All right, getting closer. Look at these big holes in the side of the reef area. Looks like I think the trail goes straight across there and then around. You see, I think we're looking, yeah, that's looking north.
And then we're coming around to the east, south. McKittrick Canyon is right over here on the right. And down below is the trail. Looks like we're just skirting the side of the reef area here. Oh wow, that's where we were earlier. Oh, right, of course. Oh yeah, that's where we were. Oops, where is it? There it is. The section that I said across from there to there. Okay, 2 miles. I'll just move a little bit here because I'm getting ready to go behind on the right here and lose the valley or the canyon for a little bit. Down that way was the grotto, it's McKittrick Canyon. Now that we're up a little higher, we can go to, we can see the other side, looking northeast. Out towards Carlsbad. Okay, looks like I didn't have play back there. And when I pressed it, I tapped start. So this is a little, you can tell that this is a little coral reef area. I do see little shells here and there, the way it looks here. Yeah, right there. You can see how it bubbles up, kind of comes around here. I'm trying to figure out what the name of those little spiros are. Right, this is another area, like a giant sponge type area. You can see the little layer of shells all along here. Ah, I see. It only goes from about here to here, down this little area there. So you can still see these close up here. There we go. And we're working our way up to there. All right, still making my way up there, but there's this little cutout kind of thing here. Oh wow, looks out into the McKittrick Canyon between the rock faces here. Cool. Ah, I see. Yeah, I see the trail there. Bottom right, left. A little breezy on this side of the mountain. Lots of pockets of fossil shells in the seafloor, kind of. Still switch backing all the way up. All right, here's another vein. Wow, there are quite a few here. Goes all the way up. Goes all the way down. Across my shadow. Underneath. Huh. As we climb elevation, you start seeing a lot more of the reef and the life that was around it. It's a trail.
Okay, hello world, hello future self. We are in West Texas, southern New Mexico, United States of America. Today's trail is Permian Reef Trail of the Guadalupe Mountains National Park. The Permian Reef Trail is a strenuous 8.4, and it's probably more 8 for me, to 9.3, depending on how far you want to go past the reef area. It's about a 2,000 to 2,300 square feet, 2,300 foot elevation from the floor of McKittrick Canyon to the top of the Wilderness Ridge. Good steady hike, good trail, rocky, sturdy shoes required, but it does take you up, I call it an aquatic adventure, through geologic past, ocean reef past. It's really neat. It's approximately, I was going to reread all this information, but here are the stats. It does take a full day, depending on how long you spend at the geologic markers or places of interest. I got stuck sometimes just standing there looking through the little, looking at all the fossils. It is fairly steep. Let's see here. The trail climbs through 3 distinct environments, beginning in the arid Chihuahuan Desert and ending up on the high altitude alpine forest of the ponderosa pines. Yes, ponderosa pines are at the top. I found that interesting. And the junipers at the top of the ridge. I could call it the snorkeling area. Expansive panoramic views. Once you get up to the top, you can see all around. Of course, you do straddle the Texas-New Mexico border along the trail at the top. Let's see. Important here, yeah, because the gates open and close, so be very conscious of the time that you're out there. Start early. You need a wilderness pass if you're going to stay overnight. All right, let's talk about the Permian period. About 250 million years ago, about 300 to 250 million years ago. It was the final period of the Paleozoic era. You can get in here, which preceding the Triassic period, which a lot of people know about that. Looks like the Guadalupian era or timeline. I guess there's 3 epochs. The epoch of the Guadalupian is this timeline area where we are going to hike through, which we hike through. Again, it was part of the supercontinent way back when, of Pangaea. Then there was a great dying, approximately 96% of the marine life, 70% of the terrestrial invertebrate species died off. And the McKittrick Canyon connection, the Permian Reef Trail, mentions earlier explores rocks specifically from the Guadalupian Epoch, which is about 265, when a massive reef system flourished. Again, all this information I get is from the links to the right here. Okay, and if you click on the links, you'll have these little hyperlinks here linked to the articles. And of course, it asks specific types of fossils. There are many. The marine ones are the shells that we see in the fossils as you walk up are brachiopods, bryozoans, fusulinids, a lot of fusulinids. And there was you could see a lot of these fusulinids too on the other trails that we went on. The sea lilies and the cephalopods, there are several of those. Very small ones, but you have to extrapolate your imagination to see these out there, but they are there. And it even tells you how to do it, how to spot them. Don't take any information. Here's some pictures of some of these here. I don't know where they got these pictures, but these are. You don't have to do any kind of imagination extrapolation. Here we are. These look nice. I think there's a few more here. Let's see here. Yeah, this one here is what I found interesting. This one's very detailed here, as you can see, but the ones that are on the trail are kind of weathered down. You can see a lot of this, but it's a little more weathered on the trail. That one is a nice one. All right. what you'll see are brachiopods and sponges, lots of sponge. You'll know that you're in a sponge area when you see it. I called it a sponge and a little unknown when I was on the hike, but now that back doing research, those are large sponge areas. Okay, that's it. Let's enjoy the rest of the hike.
Okay, we're at 6,700 feet, but if you look at this here, it's like it used to be some type of leaf vegetation, and that could be another vegetation right there. Leaves that were once on the reef. Let's see here. At 6,700 feet right now. Okay, so we're gonna need to do some research here, but I believe this is the ridge line that comes up here, up to our left here. I believe that would be the, I got a feeling that's the reef, and it extends up here, all the way across the top here, and to the left. Okay, I think this is, we've reached the, I guess the main reef block, so to speak. Our layer has, it's uplifted, of course. All right, a little farther up the trail here. Look at this guy here. He's gonna fall. Let's see, there's the... Okay, so I think we reached the somewhat of a plateau here. I assume it's on top of the reef here. Trail kind of goes a little flat, I think. Cool. All right, so we are on top of the reef here. You can kind of see the sculpting of the rock here. I guess it'd be the limestone maybe, or the rock that weathers easy. So we do take a stroll across the top of it here. It's flat. It does feel like I'm on a beach someplace. Looking out over the, we're looking west here. Lots of brush. Looks like oak and some pine. Okay, we are at, according to me, 3.5. You can see McKittrick Canyon down there, winding through there, and that's where we were the other day. I guess that would be looking south. This is more of an east. We're on the top here. You can see the cliff line up there. Lots of evergreen type pine, small grass. Looks like what do you call it, oak up here as well, oak bushes. Wow, look at this view right here. Okay, we're about 3.6 in. We're walking across the top of the reef of the plateau area. Trails like this, I can imagine in fall when everything is green. It would probably be somewhat difficult to navigate, maybe. We're heading out to a 4-mile mark. Another half mile to the lookout point. Hey, I think we've reached our destination here. This looks like a nice, look at that, you can tell this looks like coral. It doesn't look like granite or anything. Whoa. There's the valley there where the grotto is. Oh, wow. Okay, thought it was a cliff. It's not a cliff. Look at that, looking south right there. Looking west, southeast, southwest, west. Look across the top here, it's interesting. See, like a forest. Okay, we're gonna go to another little spot here. You can see where we came up from. It's a little cool up here. I'll get all the elevation and everything in a second. Oh, I could see the trail we came up that ridge right here that I'm looking at to the left of the creek. Wow, this is amazing view. On our way back, but just want to take a picture again of this part of the trail here that looks like a coral reef area. That's above ground on the shores. It's interesting looking how we walked across the top of it. So cool. Oh wow, I think that's a seashell right there. Let me see. Yep, right there. Let's see if I can do it this way. So we're coming off the top from our right side, and then we're getting ready to come back down the reef area, back into the valley. Yeah, but I think this is where the reef started. It's uplifted this far, of course. It used to be a lake bottom. So I'm taking another look at this organic layer here. It's part of a larger block, I guess, of coral. But if you go here, see right about there, there's some interesting, that long one. I saw it on the picture there. And then you can see that this is a large piece of coral. There's a couple shells right in here. It's a nice big block on the side here of the trail. Cool. This is number 26. I need to research this and figure out what 26 is. And it is getting a little cool. I do see some rain showers coming up. Let's see, still got to make it all the way down there. You can see the limestone weathering here. Calcium carbonate, I think, maybe. You see how it looks like it has those veins, similar to the caverns. Didn't see them on the way up. Yeah, maybe secret cave. Look at this. If I can get up here. Okay, made it. We're looking at these from below. Little small area here. Nice. This is facing north. Yeah. Looks like it goes down through in there. just feel the dripping here as it drips. The view out of the cave. So there's these impressions here. I'm wondering if they're, animals. I saw some pictures here that had big bucks, I guess you can say. That are rams that walk around here, because here's another one down here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but they're impressions like they were, yeah, look at that. And they even have hoof marks. Or like digging and throwing. Huh, cool. Some more weathering, unique weathering, and looking south, and there is rain there. Oops, I'll go slow here. I hope it keeps going to the east and just miss this side of the mountain range. That would be great. A lot of quartz veins. Quartz or feldspar veins, I guess. You can see them all along there. So I noticed I found the organic layer. You can start seeing some of the fins laying around there. Over here, you'll see some shells. When I zoom back out, these look like areas that were chipped off. But you can start seeing some of the organic layers coming down here. So you know how the coral reefs have a lot of holes, and then you see fish, clownfish, eels going in and out. This is what I see here. And they're not man-made. For a second I thought one was, but they're not. Cool. Another reef outcropping with holes here. So a few thoughts are entering my mind. Up there at the very, very top, as we were walking across, you look down and it looked like I said I was walking on a beach, but I think I felt more of a snorkeling over a reef area, similar to some places in Hawaii. That's what it felt like. It felt like snorkeling, but at 6,500 feet. So we're gonna way down. We went up around that big guy there to the right, and we went all the way to the top. Right about center there where it looks like it's flat. That's where we were. And then panning to the McKittrick Canyon here. We did avoid the storm and moved on. It's over here on the left. Those that were probably hiking the Guadalupe Mountain were probably hit. Once again, so hiking up there is an accomplishment, right? 4 miles up, around to the right, up to the top, across, ended up in that flat area right over here. So that's an accomplishment in itself. But as you walk up about 6,000 foot level, you start to feel the ocean basically as you start climbing higher and higher. And then once you get up to the top, I forgot what it was, 7,000, and you actually walk across the reef, which again, I had a sensation of snorkeling in Hawaii. Forgot the area, but you snorkel across, and you know how you look down at the reef below and all the coral below that you're not supposed to step on, and that's the feeling. It was so bizarre. Amazing hike. Images with different light. Might even get some sun in the next 10 minutes if the clouds come across. Looking across to McKittrick Canyon. There's the creek. Working our way down, probably another mile, let's see. Yeah, maybe a mile-ish. Anyway, I just keep looking up because it's a accomplishment as well as the journey, spiritual journey, aquatic journey up through the top. Okay, use your imagination. Picture you're a fish underwater here, walking around, swimming around through the holes and the crevices here of the reef, into these holes here, in and out, coming down, and then working your way down into these areas here. Impressive. Have a whole new meaning from this area. Whole new perspective. Look at that tree, huh? And then you have Permian Reef up there. Look at that thing. That's impressive, isn't it? We went all the way there. Check. There she is up top. We went all the way up on the right side along the reef, the big part, and then up and around that, the tallest part of it, and across the top was the last mile to, I believe, the point. Yeah, it is. It's the point on the left, the far left, believe it or not, is the point that we were taking pictures of, because you could look straight into the McKittrick Canyon. Cool. Here we are, done.